Okay, so this is Linda, and I want to create a letter in Create and have it have some fill in it. So I'm going to do this so it's just as if you were doing this yourself. So I'm going to go to New Window, wait for it to pop up, and I'm going to just start a new design with no picture. I don't really care about that. So I'm no background. And I'm going to change this hoop. I'm going to change it to a pretty small hoop because I want small letters. And I'm going to put it in and I'm going to say I want a 2" by 2". And if you notice, even though I put the inches in there, it will convert it automatically. So I've got my 2" by 2". And I just want one letter. So I'm going to go to the Draw tab. I'm going to pick on my letters. And I'm going to select here. And I'm going to type in the letter D. Just because it has a hole in it and we can do things a little bit differently. So I'm going to hit OK. But you notice that there's no fill in here. Now if I take that to the Quick Create field and I have pattern fill and I take off the satin line and I try to fill it in, it doesn't like me very much because it only looks at the outside, or it looks at the whole thing. So I'm going to hit undo. And now I really want this part out here. So I'm going to try Quick Stitch with a auto hole, and I'm going to click again. Whoops. And it again only looks at this. It isn't seeing this here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit undo and get out of there. And I'm going to go back to the Draw tab. And I'm going to select on here and I'm going to delete that. So delete it. And now I want to make sure that the D actually has a fill. So right now it's a line. And I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to click on the fill. And it's going to be the same default blue. I don't care about that. That's not that big a deal. Make sure I have the letter selected and I'm going to do the letter D. And I want my D to actually be as large as that 2 by 2 little spot. Oops. So what I want to do is click on Box Select and I'm going to click on that again. And I'm going to make this just about as big. So it ends up being about a 2 by 2. So I know that's not a fancy font, but it is one that will work for what we want to do. So I can go to the Quick Create tab, and then I've got Pattern Fill is still selected. If I hit Quick Stitch, it's going to fill the whole thing in, and it's going to look at only the outside edge. So I'm going to hit undo. If I hit Quick Stitch with an auto hole, I'm going to click on that one, and now because this is all solid all the way around there, and if I click on here, you notice there's these little lines that come around here, and now I have what I want. Now if I want to change what that fill looks like, I can actually hit a right mouse and right mouse again, and I can change that fill to whatever I want to do. So I'm going to pick on 27 just because somebody was asking about that specifically, and I'm going to change the angle a little bit, and I'm going to do OK. Now I want to make sure that the drawing is actually gone, so I'm going to go to the View tab. I'm going to make that go away. But you look at this, it's not as dense as I want it to be, so I'm going to go back. It doesn't matter if I go to Quick Create, but I'm going to do a right mouse button again, and I'm going to change that to a 2. And if I do a 2, it's in there pretty solid, but maybe not quite as much as I want. I'm going to get, okay, I got that at 38. I'm going to actually go to like number 20, and I think that, 20 was the original one. Okay, so 20, but see how far apart everything is? I'm going to change that again, and I'm going to go and pick on 26. And everything's a lot closer together, and it's not so far apart. So when it starts to go and create this in the texture, and I'm not sure I like that angle, I'm going to change that angle maybe to 48, just a little bit. So it's all those little things you can do that will make a difference. I can also double check my underlay now because my design is so small, I might not actually need an underlay. So I'm just going to leave it at none or low, but having something is not a bad thing. So I hope that helps. It's just a quick way to do that, but making sure that that is solid and filled in your draw will make a big difference. Thanks for watching.